and good morning to you from Motegi here in the Tochigi Prefecture. After a 2-month break for the JP side, it's finally time to resume hosting of the 2026 HoloProto Japan qualifiers. And we're here in Motegi for the first of 2 races in the Motegi 400 weekend. So let's take a look into the track map if you all are pretty curious about it. So anyways, it's a 4.8 kilometer racetrack. We got a track in and out of the oval, but it's a pure rug course. All things considered, because the circuit does not use any elements of the oval in the racing line, despite having the oval as part of the scenery. 14 corners in total of this track. Well, there's a good amount of the slow to medium speed corners, so braking and mechanical grip is also going to be a priority for this track. And for a race distance, it's 200 kilometers each. It's for a total of 42 laps for these HoloProto cars. And we saw a lap record of 141.773. We'll see if this can be repeated for this weekend. So let's take a look into also the Split A standings following the conclusion of the Fuji weekend that we had last March. We had Rio who took the checkered flag in the Split A race. So he takes the championship lead. Cameron Riba and Netherlands Guyana had scored 2nd and 3rd in each of their respective races. And more specifically, Cameron Riba took his in B. Guyana took his in Split A. Also secured 3rd place in Split B. So we got multiple point scores already. There are, based on my calculation, 18 of them. Only one of them having failed to score points, Samyage. But we'll see if there can be any redemption moves on the racetrack for Samyage, who have yet to score a point. But for everyone else, it's all about trying to find momentum in these next 4 races. Because remember, it is the top 10 that qualify for the 2026 Japan CO Series. And right now, the cutoff line lies in Rustin Horacio, who sits at 57 points. He's actually tied with Jay Skensai. Roshizinski, Oscar Wizard, Sakaji Mikala, they're all having their hands ready. For an opportunity to race in the CO Series. We are gonna take a short break before we actually will resume our stream. But anyways, welcome everyone to Motegi. As usual, I'm watching the Brazil commentary booth, and it is going to be interesting thing to see. I'm just gonna have to do with some modifications before we can properly start with the qualifying session. Some things are just loading very slowly, but I think we can just change it from here. Alright, so we've already changed a few things, and we're set to go in qualifying. But not before we will do one last change. Alright, so the first of the qualifying sessions have started. We have our first cars out on track. Keep one of them being Akozuri, who actually had a lackluster race at Fuji Speedway. The grid was shared with 3 other cars, Sammy Ake, Lexi Bowen, and I believe it is Joshua Azuri. So they were essentially excluded from the points calculation. So with that being said, that actually moved Akwazuri to 15th place. So this is a race where she can go head-to-head with not just her split B mates, but also her split A mates in the World Series. Akozuri does have something to prove in that number 48, as she does in all the other competitions. She's already out of title contention in HoloLive GT3. But sources are going to point out if she can get things ready for a solid campaign here in HoloProto. We're now coming into taking this hot lap. Again, a good exit off the final corner, and then bring a 15-meter mark for this double apex right-hander. Turn 1. Second apex. So he's up on the back straight into turn 2, 70-meter board into turn 2, easy there. Wouldn't go too wild on the curbs. Easy turn 2, there's a car going over that's going to block Akwazuri. Going to raise on his outlap, and Akwazuri is going to have her lap time impeded. Very horrible luck, so let's move on to the number here. I see it's 26.592. One. 44.7 if I was thinking. Turn 9. Easy there into first gear, and then get a good exit for Fulker into turn 10. 50-meter mark, brake right over there. And then get into a late 8 race where you make this the longest straight in the circuit. Beams 1.83. Apparently we're using a 4-sector format here for Motegi because bikes have been racing here, so that is a thing. Anyways, we are now seeing from Coaches on a Rio. Of course, last is the most recent race winner in Split A World Series. That will improve his time. Missouri will be set to qualify at the back as a result. So moving well, we're seeing he's looking to do the right thing with him currently in second place to Karatoka being well. Also doing very well to go up at the front. 142, 183. Zero doesn't really have a response. Inside, meanwhile, second, just started his lap. Nicolette is still set at 142.394. Cashew, looking to complete his lap as well. 142.605. For Okamura as a representative. We see him as well, looking to complete his lap. Same goes for Raymond Rosales. Shakib Reza sets a 142.050, fastest out of anyone so far. Cashew has a response, but Ducia has one better. 141.378 for Omar Polkas as driver. Raymond Rosales 141.893. 12th place as a result. Joshua Sai is the last of our runners, and he will qualify very much at the back in 18th place. With this one-shot qualifying now being done, Maverick Duciem has secured his spot for pole position. Let us congratulate him on his stellar effort to put that Omar Polka number 46 up in the front. Finish this qualifying session. So it is a pretty small gap. I just realized that we have another driver who just crossed the line, and that's, I believe, Jace Kinsai. We're gonna get back into the here. Never mind. We're just gonna go back because it's a 142.901 from Jace Kinsai. We just realized that he only just finished his lap. But that doesn't really matter because he only qualifies 12th, so that will be that. So let's take a look into the starting lineup here for the Motegi 400. With a Motegi 400 split A race. Alright, so let's take a look into how the grid looks. Maverick Duciem starts on pole position for Omar Polka. Great lap from him is a 141.3. I believe to be which I believe exceeds our target lap time already. Mama Cashew starts alongside him on the front row for Sonomaku Watami. And then Red Gonzalez with a solid third place. We'll see if he can get Flares' first win in HoloProto. Gonzalez also shown great pace in that number 77 Energy car. Let's see if he can get himself up in the front. Toka for Yukina Lamy will get 5th place. At least in qualifying, so that's where she will start. Nicholas will start 6th. For Sakaramiko. Sakamiake in 7th for Shirakabe Fubuki with Jay Goodwin alongside fellow Gamers member. This by Fubuki actually being part of Gen 1 as well. For Okami Mio. Fumi 9th for Tokino Sora with Daniel Goyena 10th. For Osara Pecora. And then we got row 6 featuring Ozzy Wizard and Jace Kinson representing Corone and Louis respectively. Our defending race winner for split A, Hoshizuna Rio, will start 13th for Nakiri Ayami. Alongside the current Hall GT3 points leader, Rasen Karashio for Lapis Darkness. Raji Kaczynski 15th for Yusuke Choko alongside Alcin Taro 16th for Ikamata Kayu. That's in row A. Row 9th, Aqua Zeri will start 17th for Ozoro Subaru. And we got the SSRB driver Kaminari Riba, who starts in 18th, and Joshua Sai will start at the back of the grid in 19th place for Hakui Koyori. 19 cars have already taken the grid. Already taken the grid here to start the first of 2 races of the Motegi 400. It's another step for CO Series qualification for these drivers. How will they fare? Well, we'll wait to find out. And so it will be Maverick Duciem on pole position, and it will be Kashi who will be plotting to challenge, and there we go for the start of the Motegi 400 split A race. And it's a great start there from Duciem, but it won't be enough for him to fully clear Muhammad Cashew as Cashew tries to go alongside, but there just isn't enough of a response from Duciem as they're now coming into turn 2, and now Raymond Gonzalez is going to try to challenge him. And I just realized that it is quite a Bakatari challenge for the top 3, but it's still Duciem leading over Cashew over Rosales, Toga and 4th, Sacavresa in 5th, Mikolev in 6th. The other part of Bakatari in 7th is Samiake, Goodwin in 8th. Guyana now overtakes Fumi for 9th as Fumi drops down to 10th. Great racing action here on the first lap here in Motegi, as we see the Omar Polka representative, Mava DCM, now currently in control of this race. The Zayin are going to be watching in with keyful eyes as, well, he currently leads, and there's still less than 41 laps to go. And so they're driving prototypes which are meant for endurance. And I fully get it that there are who expect long races with these cars, but you gotta have to crunch the time for, you know, some of our fans watching. But anyways, DCM has a 1 second lead over Cashew. And the win records are pretty interesting to look at because just realized that we haven't really added 2026. But anyways, it will be still in control. Azuri has dropped down a position. She's now down in 18th place, which is not really a positive outlook of her per se, but she is just going to have to find a way to move herself forward. I mean, if you talk about her pedigree, I believe she hasn't really won for Ozero Subaru yet. She hasn't won for Ozero Subaru in HoloProto. And right now we are just going to be watching with keen eyes. Anyways, we are just gonna keep paying attention here of the current proceedings. As also doing a live update on the winning chart. Anyway, Ducia has now extended his lead over Cashew, which is now at 1.7 seconds. Gonzalez, his gap to Cashew is at 1.4 seconds. That this is where it can get very easy right at the back. Rio. Who now goes down the inside of Jake Goodwin. That's a great move there from the Nozagi as Okoyena. Oh, and that's a bad exit there from Okoyena. He just hits the curb way too hard. And now we're seeing going now, backing up. Fumi is about to get into 9th place this time. Wizard is also going to keep tabs. Horatio is going to go down the inside. This is some great racing here, we're seeing. Motegi is racing. Check on the double corner. And it's going to be Horatio. Into the essence, he overtakes Wizard. Overtaken Azuri. Not what Azuri is looking for in this race. More side-by-side action. That's Riba against Rajin Kaczynski. And Riba now goes into the points. Here in Motegi, and you see this now pulled up a solid margin now against second place Mama Cashew. Kaczynski and Tatarana go side by side. Kaczynski's falling off in terms of running order. 141.126 for Duciem. He looks unstoppable there, but Kaczynski isn't going to give this one up just yet. Tatarana goes around the outside. Contact are up. Oh, and that is overzealous on the Toronto. And this is still go side by side and looks to be able to defend that position. But Tatarana looks to have a way better access. Zer's going to use this opportunity to get up into 18th place. Let us know in the comments on what you think so far of this race. Even if it's in Japanese, I'll put something out. And Toka! Our first retirement of the Motegi 400 Split A race, and that will come at the hands of the driver who finished was in the top 5. It's very much unideal as far as all goes. But anyways, the swing is now back in favor of Cashew right now. It looks to be just a mistake from Cashew as Ducey continues to pull away from the rest of the field. Looking at the stop field monitor, looks to me that a lot of drivers are going to be able to go on. right now. Based on my calculations here, the CP200, of course, Dan Evans have taken win number 3 overall, and he took his second consecutive win. Looks to be in in HoloProto, as it's called now, as we are checking potential battles at the back. Everyone's just gonna have to keep their cool, pretty much calm, concentrated as the race just goes on. Turn 9, but now it's going to have to stick it on the outside at turn 10. Hope for a good exit, because Riba has a better one, it seems, and so Riba will have to go ahead with Rio, but Rio isn't going to, again, get this one up just yet. He is going to go down the inside of turn 11. Slidey from Riba, once again, this time, it's going to be Riba who goes ahead. Sunny day here in Motegi compared to the last celebration here, as we're seeing more moves down the inside. That is Raymar Gonzalez, who I believe had made a mistake somewhere at around turn. Oh yeah, he did went off there at turn 10. Got allowed to make a left and now get into third place. So we have drivers making mistakes. Racetrack, and I believe it's a straight walk up there from Gonzalez. Nice to see even more views here. If you have more, yep. Address something. But I generally don't think that I have enough Japanese skills to host a Japanese stream normally, and I haven't been able to find anyone who Japanese commentary. So it is going to be that. So I hope you all can understand my predicament regarding this matter. this race. But anyways, this stream's currently looking up. After 10 laps, no pit stops expected until the next 10 laps, as we're currently just past the quarter mark. 50 kilometers of racing have already been completed. Very good job so far, despite having a decent amount of scratches. And he was inside inside third place, but then he had his lockup at turn 10. Shows a bit of spanner in the works. Stories that have been currently unfolding, and I'm not sure if I'm allowed to speak about this because it involves PL, so there is a big story involving that. I have noticed. I cannot elaborate any further. I just wanted to tell you that there's something brewing, but if I am given the proper permission, I might be able to tell you. Anyways, Azuri now goes down the inside onto Kaczynski to get herself way closer to the post. Of course, that qualifying woes have basically not helped her in her quest to get up the standings. She can hope for pit stops, that's one thing, and that's the icons that will upset her, and that will mean she will have to stay in 17th place right now. More impressive because everyone runs the same car. It continues to set qualifying laps after qualifying laps, and even then, DCM isn't going to pit until lap again. Is currently running in 4th place, doing a good job right now. at the back of the field. That DCM is coming really into the final set of corners. Asahi is only just exited the oval. Gone on to the pits. Looks to me it is a I don't think it's a scheduled stop though. I don't think this is a scheduled stop. I think that's a retirement from Rosales. Very unfortunate in that regard. Oh, sorry, that's not Remark Rosales? Oh no, this is a scheduled pit stop. So it is a scheduled pit stop. Never mind, sorry. But anyways, we do have our pit stops. First ones have already been done. Rosales is going to have to make another pit stop again. It is going to be an interesting two-stop strategy for Rosales. Same goes for Riba. Again, they have DCM who is basically continuing to set qualifying times after qualifying time, so he is still building a massive gap over to the runners behind. Battles here. First and third in the standings. If you also want to take a look into form, now on a rival of sorts. I find it to be very interesting. From Samyake, since he won at Fuji Speedway in Hall GT3 for Shirakawa Fubuki, which essentially ended her 3-year win drought in, I believe, in Hall GT3, where she last won in May 2022. He won in May 2020, or March 2026, I believe. 3 years and 9 months, the last tasted victory in Hall GT3. Now has to make a pit stop. Was in the lead, by the way, and is gonna also be the same strategy as. He is gonna go walk until the end of this race. Rosales is still crucially behind DCM, so that's that. Still haven't crossed the latter stages of this race. cars remain in this race. Riba, I believe, have already made his pit stop, so he is gonna start from zero. He will. Behind Nikolaev, not looking like a favorite to win at this point. So we will check on drivers who will be making good stops. Guyana and Akwazuri will be making good stops, as well as Ryu Kaczynski, Kinsai, and Asahi. Well, you can see here, you can see what they meant about Motegi being a difficult track to overtake. Because, I mean, there's not a lot of long straights and a lot of short corners, which would essentially slow down. Alright, so Samyage now gets very close down to Shaka Preza. He is going to properly stake his claim into third place, final podium position. The Shaka Furuki driver, as in form as ever, has also had a solid run in Hall Light GT3. What happened over there? He now is currently 5th place. And of course, ever since he won at Fuji Speedway, he actually scored 2 5th place finishes in a row, which puts him in the top 5 and faintly in title contention with Rustin Caraccio. For Formula Hall Live, it's a bit of a different story. Because, well, there's also the Yeongnam round where he finished in the podium positions, and looking like a driver who's basically in contention to qualify for the CO Cup for Formula Hall Japan. So this is a driver who is currently very much in form, possibly the most informed driver out of with current affairs, and right now it is still Cashew leading. But as we've established before, Antanara will be making his pit stop soon. Kinsai and Azuri also going to make their pit stop, as well as Kinsai already making his move. Also comes in, so same as well. Just for the context, Riba and Asahi are right here at turn 10. That's that. have now finally exited the final corner. Tensai has finally gone out. Riba, who did start at the back, is going to be gaining at least 2 positions on merit with an undercut strategy. It's a great decisive moment for the Shimon driver. Has now come in for his field stop and as well. Servicer as well is also not far from the mid pack. Well, he is in the mid pack, but he's in the pits as well. So. Will have to go side by side with Terra. It has been time to go on his tire, so also time to tell if he can get closer. Right now, Kaczynski is still stationary, just gone out. And yes, I do want to point out that the Wizard did score points in the split B race. And I do want to point out that this is by design because, well, how do I say it? Yeah. The idea is it's a bit unfair to out just because Colin is wasn't participating in the Southern Fest. So again we allow Wizard to participate on those grounds. But anyway, we do have 3 drivers who have yet to make a pit stops. From this point on, the drivers will guarantee to GCM is still running in 5th place. It is I feel like the race for the top spot is now currently in the hands of Kashi, Mikulev, and Ake. Potentially Hirashiro? No, it cannot be Hirashiro. Kashi, Mikulev, and Ake. These are the drivers who will be also do CM2. I think DCM is still the clear favorites to win. They're basically now ahead. southbound into 2. Oh, that's flying. As we see Casio now get into the back of flat cars. And that is moving down the inside, we're on the outside though. From Casio, especially with Fumina go out of the pit, and they are going to be well behind DCM, but not by much. DCM does not have the advantage of tires, and Goodwin will carry. We'll see how long Casio will stay, how long Casio will try to stay. Okay, we have actually gone past the halfway point. On the front takeaways, Casio has an 18-second gap over Samiake, but his opponent is actually around DCM, and we're seeing side-by-side action there between Caraccio and Rosales. Both of them will still need to make one more pit stop. But still now going to be Rosales, who now has a good exit. We'll see if he can make a pass on to Goodwin, as we're going to keep focus on them. Giving a lot to play for. Rio have now gone on to his pit box. It will be a ultimate pack. We're looking at Riba, Kensai, and Antanaro being in a comfortable position to as results. Now was to pass on to Goodwin. Saw Goodwin now goes further back, and that allows Caraccio to make the pass. Rio has now just gone now and will exit ahead of Wizard and Riba. Casio has yet to clear Wizard and Riba, and they're about to go side by side. Riba, Shishiran's his driver is gonna try to stake his claim into 12th place, or rather defend his claim of 12th place, as Wizard is going to try to claim it for himself for the Koroneskis. Ake, meanwhile, now into the pit box right now. He has already given that place back to UCM. It looks to me that he will likely battle it out with Shaki Frieza, who have already made his pit stop. Samiake is still pretty much stationary, but not anymore. Shaki Frieza has just exited the final corner. It's not going to be enough for Shaki Frieza to make the pass onto Ake. He now goes up in a position or two. Top 6 with will need to make one more pit stop. finally takes back the race lead after, well, a long time. Again, as we mentioned multiple times over, this is a never mind. Anyways, Adak-RMS is still getting into a bit of a battle with Samyake. Right. So make a left now, only 3 seconds behind, 3/10 behind Cashew. So battles afoot for the oncoming driver. Goodwin and Coraccio are about to be called into the pits, which will move Aki and Reza 2 positions. Shuffle in the running order right now. So we are at 15 laps to go here in Motegi, and okay, the race has basically calmed down. Gonzalez is now at 4 laps of field to go. Okay, close with Riba. We are absolutely expecting them to make a pit stop. So Samyake will be up to 4th place, Sakurisa up to 5th. Sizable gap between and Ake right now, but what's not to say that Ake is able to overturn the gap. And also DCM having a 20-second lead over Mo Cashew. He's also a positive thing to favorites to win it all here in Motegi today. He still has essentially proceed with the race so far, as we are about to confirm Gonzalez's status. He is running very low on fuel, and we don't know if he's gonna make that pit stop or not. I also find it very funny about Lucien so far. He has had many pedigree in Formula Hall Life, but HoloProto has never won a Hall Life GT3 race. Conversely, if you look and Walker's first win in HoloProto. He's not half the pace right now, so it's all being thrown in the air right now. He's trying his best to survive right now. Cashew with 141.076 has now the fastest lap out of anyone so far, but does he have enough time to close the gap to Lucien here? It's an interesting question to have, honestly. As it stands right now at the moment. So this one we can probably set running order in stone. Mama Cashew is going to be a solid favorite. Is just gonna also keep tabs. Rihanna is 7th also. There's a lot of parity somehow in this stand. Gonzalez also looking to get himself further up the standings. Crossio as well as Jake Goodwin. inside 13th, and Tannerau in 14th, and 15th place goes to Raijin Kaczynski. So as of right now, we expect UCM to currently be at the top with a 3-point cushion to Mohamed Cashew. So there's secure third and fourth in the standings as of provisionally, of course. Who did win a race at Fuji will be in 5th place. Is currently out of the points right now. Will drop down to 7th place. Sameke will slot himself into the top 10. Asahi, Toka, and Azuri will continue their non-points scoring position unless Azuri can do something. To Kaczynski right at the end. We are now currently at lap 34. 9 laps to go here in Fuji. Anyways, Azuri now wants to get herself a between position. Toka is gonna still come out ejected. Yeah. Anyways, we are at 35 laps complete. 7 laps to go. UCM's gap has shrunk to 12 seconds. Still pretty manageable so far. Ake Shamibraza, Fumi Goyena, Gonzalez Horacio, and Goodwin, Rio, and then Wizard. And then it's a massive toss-up between Inside and Tannerau and Kaczynski, with Azuri looking to join in on the fight, as well as Joshua Asahi. Reba will probably have to hang around outside the box. One more thing, actually. With how 10th place has an average place scored of 50.5 so far. This will mean, we mean it, that we need to have a score over 250 points if we want to be safe in the Suya positions. And so right now, realistically speaking, DCM, Cashew, and Shaki Reza, with their 2 great results here so far in qualifier, will have more or less secured their spot in the Suya. get herself back into the points. To at the very least have something to fight for, and it looks to me that she has a great run off of the out of turn 10. Not just yet. Lap 37 complete. Watch out there. UCM is right at the horizon. He is looking at a soft position. Gap's now opened up to 15 seconds, so that will be a lot of breathing room for DCM. We have 4 laps to go here in Motegi, and it's now DCM in control of the situation here. 15 seconds ahead of Cashew. They're still stuck behind Kaczynski. Will there be a last lap pass for this driver? Is currently at risk of not qualifying for the CO Series. She probably needs a win or two to put herself back into the top 10. It has not been a great campaign for her. Being beaten by Rio was something that she couldn't really avoid of sorts. Now, the suggestion for her is to have a finish inside the top 5 for her the next 3 races, assuming she doesn't really get to the top 10 here. So caught up with Asahi in 17th. We have now started lap 40 of this race. so far, assuming this assumes that there will be no change in the running order. Oh, there is a change in running order. Fumi has overtaken Chucky Fresa. This is for P5. So Fumi is there's already a change in the running order. Chucky Fresa has kind of ran off wide. So Fumi currently in 5th place is gonna change something in the equation for the amount of points earned. This will mean that Fumi is gonna go further ahead against Reba. About to start the final lap of this race. DCM has already cleared Joshua Sahi and he is losing time. He just needs to make sure his next moves are basically done in a flawless manner. Moving up to 6, Rima down top 6 in the standings. Changes so far in the top end and anywhere in the standings here as we're about to start the final lap of the Motegi 400. Omar Polkas as Maverick Duciem in complete control since the start of this race. He just needs to Polka. He had raced for Rotan once, but now racing for Polka since late 2023. He has done a good job so far. DCM now up there. Oh, and that's him going a bit wide there. A bit of a scare. Azuri has made the pass on to Kaczynski on the final lap. I repeat, Azuri is about to make the pass on to Kaczynski on the final lap, but again, they are not lapped. They will have to do it for one more lap. But meanwhile, Maverick Duciem said that there's a forever glow in the Omar Polka camp, and he's about to put another glow in that garage. Omar Polka as Duciem is about to cross the line to make it his third win, and Polka's his third win in ARO competitions. Duciem and Polka win the Motegi 400 Split A race, and it will be their debut win in HoloProto. Kashi finishes second, Mikola finishes third, Ake Fumi in fourth and fifth. Azuri is looking to stay ahead of Kaczynski. Ake and Fumi, Gonzalez, Carrascio, and Goodwin in the Rio Wizard Pinside and Tannerov. And Aqua Azuri, the biggest gain has always been Russian Carrascio, who started in 14th. Akozuri salvages a points finish, but only just. At this point. So, couple of things to note here. As we're about to see, the driver's finally crossed the checkered flag. So, yeah. So we're now gonna finally move into intermission while we do some checking of sorts. As we're about to finalize the So anyways, congratulations to hang on, I'm just gonna do this one. So yeah, congratulations of course to Maverick UCM after he has taken another solid checkered flag for Omar Polka. His debut win in HoloProto no less is a great result for him. Muhammad Cashew though will secure second. For Sonomake Watami, the championship battle will now be on, as we can confirm to you of the point scat that we will be sharing you later. And meanwhile, looking into third place, Isakaji Mikolev with a solid run. Well, he did finish inside the third place. That will put him in the top half of the table. In the top half of the table, which is going to be a positive outlook for him. Anyways, we're just gonna double check here. All right, so we're just gonna do one last change here before we end this. All right. So, with Mikolev finishing in third, this will mean he finishes inside the top half. But that's not what we're going to talk about here. Samiake finishes fourth, with Fumi running out the top five. Saki Freza in sixth place. Goyena in seventh. Raymar Gonzalez eighth after starting third, which is a bit of a shame. Rusty Caraccio ninth, and Jake Goodwin rounds out the top 10 finishers. Hoshizona Rio in 11th, with Wizard in 12th. Kinsai 13th with Antanarao in 14th. Aquazuri manages to salvage a single point after making a penultimate lap pass onto Raiji Kaczynski, who will now miss out on points. Same goes for Joshua Asahi in 17th. Riba had already started at the back, but the strategy call did not do him any favors as he drops down to 18th. And Yukihara Toka, of course, goes out on a whimper with an engine failure. No major crashes to report. Good thing. So we're just gonna, well, do one more thing before we, well, conclude the running of this Motegi 400. So we're just gonna, oh, right. All right, so we're just gonna get our cameras of sorts ready for DUCM, who, of course, as we have mentioned earlier, has taken the checkered flag. So again, we'd like to congratulate Maverick DUCM for his achievement. Of course, taking the win here in Motegi. So with that out of the way, we are gonna also take a look into the championship standings for Split A. All right, so after a pretty much hardy round here in Motegi and Split A, let's take a look into the Split A standings after Motegi. Duciam now takes the championship lead over Muhammad Cashew. The gap confirmed to be over 3 points behind Duciam. Shaka Reza sits at 240. Goyena sitting at 222 alongside Hoshizuna Rio, at least on paper, because in actuality, the tiebreaker will be going to those who have had better finishing results rather than what happened in the recent races. So this would mean that Rio will actually be in 4th place as a result of his escapades. We already corrected that for you. And then we got Fumi in 6th. Reba still now down in 7th place as a result. Well, the last spot was in the spark of hope for Azuri, but of course that qualifying blunder did not do her any favors. Mikolev, Sami Ake, and Rustin Karashio make it the top 10. And Tanaro Kinsai, Raymond Gonzalez, Goodwin, and Osner Wizard will make up the 11th to 15th positions. And I do note that both Goodwin and Wizard are also tied on points, but Wizard scored that 10th place first. So this means that Wizard will be ahead of Goodwin here. So that's that. So and then looking into the bottom standings here, Kaczynski's still within a shout of potentially getting into the top 10, potentially. And then we got Joshua Sahi, Yukihara Toka, and Aquazuri, who are still at single-digit points, which is not ideal for them. But of course, there's still 3 more races. There's still Le Mans, Sugo, and Mandalika to close off the qualifiers, and there's still hope for each of them to either make the World or JPCO series. Alright, with that out of the way, we'd like to thank everyone for tuning into today's stream. It's been a productive stream today. Of course, we got people tuning in from all sides of the globe. And yes, the results have also gone in, so that is a bit of a plus for us as well. With that out of the way, thank you all for tuning in for today's race. We hope you enjoyed the race as much as we do. And with that out of the way, we are going to, well, move on into the Split B race tomorrow. Same time, in Japan time and all that stuff. Hope everyone will be tuning into that stream as well. That being said, my name is Mohammed Shazan Reza in the commentary booth. And we'll hope to see you again for Split B in the Motegi 400. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you tomorrow for the next race.